Tucked in the district of Ghaziabad, Uttar Pradesh, is a dream that twinkles in the eyes of two sisters, which till date has been a caring shelter for over 3,000 souls. Since last 3 years, the living dream is the hope for the abandoned, the sick, and the street-born. The Iyer sisters, Sumedha and Sumati, along with their extended team, Faizan and Sushmita, have been looking after the animals sheltered in People for Animals Ghaziabad too, like their own kids.
PFA for me is my second home. These are my extended family, my children, my brothers, my sisters. PFA Ghaziabad 2 started only with an ambulance. We had no shelter, no place, just an ambulance that would pick and drop animals to the nearby hospital. But then because commuting was a problem, we realized we needed a place. And so we struggled hard and we finally got this place.
From individual and personal love for animals, Sumedha and Sumati took on an extremely challenging task of providing better care and services to the stray animals of Ghaziabad. Fighting against animal abuse and creating awareness about the same was also an area of focus.
A lot of societies with closed boundaries, they don't want dogs in the society because they fear dogs. And that fear is because they've not really tried to approach that animal. They don't want dogs in their societies. There's a lot of cruelty around. They beat dogs, they've thrown acid on cows. There have been bulls attacked with iron rods. Inhuman things, things that you can't imagine of.
From the last few years, PFA Ghaziabad 2 team bravely handles the rampant cruelty towards animals in the area. With the support of local police, they ensure the prevention of animal abuse in the locality.
PFA 2 unit in Ghaziabad, they are doing a very excellent job. First, they are concerned about the welfare of the stray animals. Apart from it, not only the welfare and this rehabilitation of stray animals, they are active simultaneously in the field of catching the elements who are active in wildlife trafficking.
It is rightly said, birds of a feather flock together. Ever since Faizan first visited the organization for the treatment of a dog from his locality, he is gripped by animals present here. It is nothing but the love for animals that made Faizan and his wife Sushmita part of this huge family.
We happened to visit PFA Ghaziabad 2 with an injured case of a dog, a bitch that we found near to our colony, and it was raining, so we didn't have any place to take her. We thought of bringing her to PFA Ghaziabad 2 shelter. That was the first time we came here and we met the Iyer sisters, Sumati and Sumedha, and we were quite impressed by the work they were doing.
Since the very beginning, PFA Ghaziabad 2 strongly believes in the principle of maximum welfare and minimum stay for animals who are brought in or come to the hospital and shelter. 38-year-old Sushmita is a veterinary consultant by profession. She voluntarily serves PFA Ghaziabad's innocent souls and helps them by relieving their pain. She is a compassionate and experienced individual for whom animal welfare is of utmost importance.
When it comes to the ability to feel pain, suffering, hunger, thirst, emotions such as sadness and happiness, actually no man, boy, girl is different than any animal. They are all same.
From the last 3 years, PFA has managed to bless over 25 families with a positive aura. The first thing an animal comes with.
One should come here, come forward and do something for animals which have no voice, no say somewhere, and they cannot express themselves, their problems and all. And I suppose people should come forward. And with that feeling only, I have started getting associated the way I can find some time and all for myself and for these people and all, or for these animals and all.
3 weeks back, Vijay Pal Singh came to PFA Ghaziabad when he lost all his hope for his pregnant bitch Bhuri. All the local doctors gave up on her, saying it was a complicated case of delivery. It was then when PFA team took the responsibility of saving Bhuri's life.
इस पिच को परेशानी थी बहुत ज़्यादा, 3 दिन से परेशान थी। इसके पेट में बच्चे मरे थे और इसको मैं किसी ने बताया भोपरा लेकर आया प्राइवेट डॉक्टर के पास में। उन्होंने थोड़ा इलाज करा, उसके बावजूद मना कर दिया। उन्होंने कहा नंदी पार्क ले जाओ, वहाँ पे इसे यहाँ लेकर आया। मुझे यहाँ कहा कि इसको एडमिट करवा दो, ऑपरेशन होगा। इसका ऑपरेशन हुआ, 2 बार मैं इसे देखने भी आया और अब ये बिल्कुल ठीक है। और मुझे बहुत ही अच्छा लगा यहाँ आके कि भाई बहुत देख रेख कर मेरी इसकी जान बच गई।
Today, PFA is handing over a healthy and, more importantly, a smiling Bhuri to her owner. The PFA team mailed Dr. Andrew Trafford, a UK-based extremely experienced veterinary doctor and an eminent name in animal welfare and rights across the globe. Somewhere deep down in their hearts, they firmly believed that Dr. Andrew's guidance will be greatly beneficial to the organization and its innocent creatures.
I met Sushmita when I was working for the charity in India before and coached and mentored her in her early career. And that gave me an insight into the kind of, if she was engaged in that operation, it was going to be a success. And so when I first arrived, I met the other members of the team, which is her husband Faizan, and of course the person that leads it up, which is Sumati. And I realized that it was a dynamic group. So I acted like an enzyme, like a catalyst, just to get them to think in a cohesive way and organize the shelter so that it flowed from dogs coming in to eventually and hopefully dogs going out on adoption.
After coming to India, Dr. Andrew realized that sensitization towards animal and animal issues is extremely needed.
Everybody in their lives will see animals suffering. What we need to do is to sensitize the whole population of India to the fact to remember those instances in their childhood, because children don't grow up cruel, they grow up loving, and it's driven out of them by other things. What we need to do is take them back to their childhood so that they remember those animals that they felt sorry for.
After minutely analyzing the state of PFA Ghaziabad 2, Dr. Andrew concluded that funding is a matter of serious concern for the shelter.
Funding is crucial. Without funding, you cannot exist. Shelter needs food. The animals need food. So companies that produce food, they always have a means to give food to the shelter. Pharmacies, companies that produce drugs, they can let the PFA or let the shelters have drugs at a reduced cost.
Animal issues have received scant critical attention globally. Coming from the eminent Gandhi family, Srimati Menaka Gandhi is certainly one name you cannot overlook if you are discussing animal rights in India.
You need to be aware that they should be on a political agenda. Every country, you can't say that we are a poor country or anything like that, because Philippines, Malaysia, every single member of parliament who is standing for election has to come and answer to an animal council and say that what is he going to do for animals. And one has to realize that animals have no nation. There's no such thing as Indian animals and Chinese animals. They are a nation. And we need to respect them as a nation.
It is because of her constant and dedicated efforts over the years that has made PFA what we see it today.
PFA Ghaziabad has been started by remarkably brave and dedicated sisters. They had no money to start, and yet I'm very, very proud that they have set up a shelter on their own. They do ABC work. They fight with the whole of Ghaziabad when it comes to animal cruelty, They're not, you know, ask every single PFA person not to be scared at all of anything and not to put limits on themselves. You know, if there are no limits to your vision, you will reach the sky. If you yourself will say, I can't do this, then it can't be done.
Right from her early days, Srimati Menaka Gandhi has left no stone unturned when it comes to animal issues in India.
By law, that a government should do is to make a state animal welfare board, put money into it and use that to make animal NGOs saksham in their own areas. Thousands of people love animals, but they don't know what to do because there's no money in it. You don't have CSRs of companies giving to you. Government doesn't give 1 rupee, and yet there are billions of animals that need help.
Like almost all animal NGOs across the globe, PFA Ghaziabad too is also finding great difficulties in generating funds. All this while, the two sisters have managed to run the shelter at their own expense. But there are no two stands on the fact that any help, whether cash or kind, is the need of the hour for the organization's survival.
It is tough, very, very tough. Sometimes it is our own money, sometimes it is friends, relatives, some volunteers, of course. Sometimes it's God.
They have a lot of difficulty with money and donations.
It's really feels sad that the only help PFA Ghaziabad 2 right now gets is individual donations, which just trickles in.
It's running on a drip, I'll say. You know, a drip, like a IV line you have that supports you. So it's like that. It's drop by drop. So anytime if it is plugged, they will go lifeless.
Betrayed, frightened, and confused are the emotions that we leave these animals with. For all the directionless animals on streets of Ghaziabad, there is a home called PFA and parents called Sumati, Sumedha, Faizan, and Sushmita. Let's just extend a helping hand to save another life. Another Bhuri. Another Babuji.